Namaskar and welcome back to a special broadcast Super Sunday India versus Pakistan with me Deepika. And finally, Pakistan registered their first win against India at the ICC World Cup as men in green defeated India by 10 wickets in the group match of the ICC Cricket World Cup. Openers Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan started their innings on a positive note and played fine shots all across the field. The duo gave no room to Indian bowlers and completed their half centuries.
Oh, glorious. It really is worth the price of admission.
दूसरा रन भी पूरा कर लिया यहाँ पर और ये जीत बहुत बड़ी जीत पाकिस्तान को मिली.
And in a knock to remember, Virat Kohli scored 57 runs with a half century from 49 balls, a feat that he achieved thrice versus Team Pakistan in T20 Cricket World Cups. Here are the graphics for you showing Kohli's previous records against Team Pakistan in T20 Cricket World Cup. In 2021, Dubai, which is now scored 57 in 49 balls. In 2016, Virat Kohli scored 55 in 37 balls. The game was in Kolkata. In the year 2014 in Dhaka, Virat Kohli scored 36 in 32 balls. That was in the year 2014 versus Pakistan in T20 Cricket World Cup. Going back, in 2012 in Colombo, Virat Kohli scored 78 in 61 balls. And coming back to Dubai, in the current year, Virat Kohli scored 57 balls. And now let's take a look at other stats and facts that were edged with today's India versus Pakistan match at T20 Cricket World Cup in Dubai. Virat Kohli has scored his 29th half century in T20Is. With today's half century, Kohli hit 5 boundaries and a 6 to reach his 50. In today's match against Team Pakistan, Virat Kohli steadied India's ship after early jolts. In its match against Team Pakistan today, Virat Kohli's half-century helped India recover from disastrous start. Shaheen Afridi sent Virat Kohli back when India was batting first against Team Pakistan. And Virat Kohli has scored, as we said earlier, his 29th half-century in T20 internationals. And Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul departed within 3 overs. Rishabh Pant chipped in with 39 runs. Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul, both of them departed within 3 overs. Rishabh Pant, who chipped in with 30 runs, played a good hand, including 2 fours and 2 sixes in India's match against Pakistan today. India lost its early 3 wickets in 6 overs only. Pakistan bowlers jolted the batting side with 4 early wickets in India versus Pakistan group stage match, and Hassan Ali removed Surya Kumar Yadav. Shadab Khan dismissed Rishabh Pant. In today's match against Team India at the group stage Super 12 match, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul were back to the pavilion in the power play itself. Talking about Pakistan's inning, Mohammad Rizwan, Babar Azam cruised control in chase versus India. Pakistan's opener put them in command while chasing a target of 152. Pakistan have scored the 100-run mark without losing a wicket against Team India today. Pakistan's dominating performance against Team India in T20 World Cup was witnessed. Indian bowlers failed to seek a breakthrough today. However, this is just the first match. Openers Babar and Rizwan both hit unbeaten 50s in Pakistan's innings versus India at T20 Cricket World Cup today. And I'm joined by sports expert Mr. Ravikant Singh to talk more on today's India versus Pakistan T20 Cricket World Cup. Good evening, Mr. Singh. Where did India go wrong with its top order lineup today?
I think India were a little too tight going into this game, and the importance of the match, the pressure told on the Indian side, that was quite obvious. And once Shaheen Shah Afridi got the early breakthroughs, removed both the openers in the first 3 overs, the India were always on the back foot. It was pretty obvious that India were struggling to stay afloat right through the match, and the chase said it all when the Pakistan ended up winning the match by 10 wickets. Indian bowlers trying hard, but again clueless, not attacking enough, gave away too many early runs. No pressure on Pakistan batsmen at all.
Pakistan opened with a seamer and a spinner as well. Well thought strategy?
Well, it was a well thought out strategy. They knew that they have this speed in Shaheen Shah Afridi, who bowls in the vicinity of 150 plus, 150 kilometers per hour. And the strategy worked. And once he has got the openers, then you can afford to bring in the spinner early and control the flow of runs right in the beginning. That's exactly what Pakistan were able to do.
And Pakistan well played the power play as well as compared to Team India's power play. How would you describe this?
See, India were a little, again, as I said, too tight. You tried, the first 4 overs were bowled by 4 different bowlers, which means that you're throwing in just about everything in search of a breakthrough, and that necessarily may not work. Now, we all know Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowls better with the new ball, but he was given just 2 overs in the first 6, and Varun Chakravarti had 1, Shami had 2. So that, the distribution like that shows lack of faith in any one bowler. You bowl 1 over, don't get a wicket, you're changed. Now that is not inspiring any confidence in the bowlers.
How, according to you, did the pitch perform?
I think the pitch was quite fine. There was absolutely no devil in the pitch. Pitch played absolutely true. We did not see any kind of uneven bounce. There was a bit of dew, but that is bound to happen in this time of the year. And team batting second has to suffer that. Now, once that happens, the pitch starts playing even better in the evening.
Absolutely. And Pakistan's strategy was similar somewhat to England and Australia on Dubai's pitch, wasn't it?
Well, they had, see, don't forget, Pakistan have been playing all their home games in these in this area, Abu Dhabi, Dubai and Sharjah. So that is something that they've played 36 games so far, T20 internationals in this area. So they know the conditions much better than the Indians, although Indians did play the franchise cricket in the same wickets not so long ago. But having so much of experience in the desert conditions, and the field is slightly softer than what we would see. It looks green from the top, but underfoot conditions are slightly soft, so the fielders tend to get tired much easily. Now, these are little things that make a lot of difference in a competition like this.
Absolutely, and I think this is for the first time after 1992 that Pakistan won a match against India in the T20 World Cup especially.
Well, T20 World Cup, this was their first win. They've lost 5 previous meetings, 2 of them in 2007, but this was their first ever win in the T20 World Cup, and I would say that Pakistan cannot go complacent even from here. Having beaten India, it's only 1 win. They've got 4 more games to go. They've got New Zealand, they've got Afghanistan, and plus Scotland and Namibia. For India also, it's 1 game lost, 4 more to go. A good win against New Zealand next Sunday will have them right back on track for the semi-final race.
Well, but do you think will it somewhere shake India's confidence, because losing to Pakistan wasn't expected by the fans and the experts as well?
Well, if the players lose confidence here, then I think they should not be playing professional sport. Professional sport is all about winning and knowing how to lose. You've got to get that defeat out of the way, and that's exactly what India needs to do. This is where the role of the coach, the mentor, the support staff comes in. They've got to get the players back on their feet, and they've got 6 days to do it. Next match against New Zealand is only on the 31st of October, next Sunday. So they've got plenty of time to get the players in the right frame of mind. A good win against New Zealand, and this defeat will be forgotten.
Right, Mr. Singh, would request you to please stay here with us, because we are talking about Team India's innings. So let's quickly take a review at India's innings in its match against Pakistan in our next report. After being put in, India were jolted by Afridi's express pace and deadly swing up front as Rohit Sharma was wrapped plumb on the pads with an in-swinger in the opening over. Even before India could have figured out a way of recovery, in form KL Rahul was cleaned up in Afridi's next as he failed to put bat behind another in-swinging yorker that rattled the stumps. In at number 3, Suryakumar Yadav became the third power play wicket for Pakistan as he edged Hassan Ali behind before Mohammad Rizwan completed a brilliant diving catch. India's recovery was scripted by a half-century partnership between Rishabh Pant and Kohli, who added 53 off 40 for the 4th wicket to stage a comeback. Pant took the attack to Ali in the 12th over to smash a couple of his trademark one-handed sixes off successive deliveries as Kohli continued to anchor from the other end. Although he skied Shadab Khan in the immediately following over to be caught by the bowler himself for 39 off 30 with 2 fours and as many sixes. Following Pant's exit, Kohli pressed the accelerator, also notching up his 10th half-century in an ICC event while adding 41 with Ravindra Jadeja, who holed out to deep mid-wicket off Hassan Ali in the 18th over after a run aboard 13th. Having expressed his desire to claim the top 3 wickets of India, Afridi returned in the death to claim the prize scalp of Kohli, who was dismissed for the first time against Pakistan in an ICC event. Having hit 5 fours and a 6 in his 49-ball 57, Kohli was undone off a slower one that was stuck in short by Afridi that he edged to the keeper. Pandya, who struck a couple of fours in his 11-run knock, could not unfurl his finishing beast and perished in the final over of Harris Rauf before India finished 151 for a loss of 7 wickets. Sports Desk, DD India. Pakistan was strong in all the departments today. Moving back to our guest, Mr. Ravikant Singh. Mr. Singh, how would you define Virat Kohli's performance today particularly? He played under pressure and he played well.
He did play well. He held the innings together, especially when you lose the top 3. You've got to put a partnership together, and I think he did a wonderful job in putting up that 4th wicket partnership with Rishabh Pant. But unfortunately, the game was slipping away from India's control by that time, because the loss of the early wickets did not allow the innings to gain the momentum that could have seen them towards something like a 175 total.
And considering the due factor, India lost the toss also and they were put into bat first. How would you define the situation?
Well, the due factor did come in, but about the 10th or 11th over or so. So it did affect the last 2 overs, both by Chakravarti and Jadeja. But that is bound to happen. And it's not that it's something happened all of a sudden. Even when the franchise cricket was being played in the same venues, the dew was coming in, the rags were out, the ball had to be cleaned. So the team and the players were well aware that this is likely to happen. So you've got to play with the conditions that are there. It's for both teams. India may win the toss, bat first in another game, and the opposition will be under pressure. So this kind of things are bound to happen, and you've got to take it in your stride.
Absolutely, these kinds of things are bound to happen. Yet India's top order trembled today, and we were confident on India's top order, which is really contrary to the fact what exactly happened on the field today. Why did it happen so?
Well, I think Indians had probably worked, over-studied, over-analyzed, which is why you find that both KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma were out trying to play from their crease without moving their feet against Shaheen Shah Afridi. They knew that he is express pace. Now, to avoid, getting caught by that speed gun, they were trying to, play it from the crease, hoping that they'll be able to get the ball on the bat. Unfortunately for both, that did not happen. And when you are already, in a negative mindset against any bowler, whether it is Shaheen Shah Afridi or a spinner, if you're in a negative mindset, you're not likely to succeed at all.
Absolutely. And Mr. Singh, how would you define Pakistan's performance in all the departments today?
Well, I think Pakistan had gone in hungrier with the two teams. They knew that they've lost 5 in a row to India, and they haven't played since the 2019 World Cup in England. So that was a 50-over game, and since then the two teams have not faced each other. So this was something that they saw as an opportunity to bounce back big on the world stage. But first match of the ICC T20 World Cup, and they could not have hoped for a better start. They were given a dream start, wicket in the first over of Rohit Sharma, and that was it. The Pakistan team had made their mark in the first 6 overs. The power play, they had won the game comprehensively.
Absolutely. And at one point of time, Pakistan just needed 81 runs, more from 10 overs, which is something really unexpected. Is this a revamped side of Team Pakistan? And going on forward from here, would Team Pakistan will be able to continue this momentum against other teams?
Well, I think that is what they should be hoping for and planning for, because at the moment they must be on cloud 9, having had that comprehensive win, 10-wicket win. Remember, Pakistan had never won a T20 international by 10 wickets before, neither has India lost a T20 international by 10 wickets. So this is something that will really be etched in the memory of the Pakistan players on the side. But they've got to get it over with as quickly as possible, because they've got other matches coming up very soon.
Absolutely. And Mr. Singh, from here onwards, what all are the pointers that India need to take forward and learn from today's matches, according to you, in all their departments?
I think the batsmen have got to be told to settle down and play their natural game, rather than rely too much on video analysis of bowlers and trying to do their homework without having faced a ball, and then going into the match with that mindset really puts them on the back foot. Yes, you need to know what the bowler is going to throw at you, but then you've got to play every ball on merit. You cannot premeditate that this is going to happen or that is going to happen. And that's exactly what the Pakistanis did in the chase. They don't know much about Varun Chakravarti. They were facing him for the first time. And they faced him with a lot of confidence. First 3 overs, they did not take too many liberties, just pushed around those singles, 1s and 2s. Only in Varun Chakravarti's 4th over did Rizwan go after the spinner, but by the time they'd already seen him bowl 3 overs. Now that is a kind of cool-headedness that you would want from the Indian side as well in the upcoming games.
But was India well prepared, and considering the lineup Pakistan had?
I think India was over-prepared. As I said, there was always that fear of what Pakistan would be throwing at them, especially in terms of speed. And that's where I think India lost out.
And going forward, which are the teams that Pakistan needs to be really careful of?
Well, I think first up, they've got to be careful about New Zealand and also Afghanistan. Now, Afghanistan in these conditions can be a handful. They've got some experienced players like Rashid Khan there. With his experience of playing franchise cricket and international cricket, he can be really a handful. And if Afghanistan makes early inroads into Pakistan's batting, they could also be in trouble.
And if you talk about Team India, which are the teams to look forward to and be careful of?
I think India's got to be very, very careful about New Zealand, because New Zealand is their next batsman, next up against them. But what they've got to realize is that get this defeat out of the way. New Zealand will rely on seamers mostly, and that could be slightly easier game for them.
How would you define Babar Azam today? Because he just rewrote the history. His performance was brilliant and doing well in all the departments.
But I think his leadership was exemplary. He knew when to make the changes, when to bring in what bowler, who could be effective against which batsman. I think the background that they had prepared, or the plan that they had for Team India, was well set, and it all worked to perfection. It was one of those days when Pakistan team could not do anything wrong and India could not do anything right. It was just one of those days.
Absolutely. And what are the pointers that India really needs to, and how Dhoni will be contributing to the team from here onwards, because his role becomes even more important now as a mentor?
Definitely, and I'd like to see him guide the players out of that negative mindset that we saw throughout the 40 overs, over 38 overs today. India were on the back foot while batting, playing catch up, and then while bowling, you are so desperate for wickets that you keep ringing in those changes. Even in franchise cricket, we've not seen so many changes being rung within the first 6 that Kohli did. Now, I don't know if it was part of a plan or whatever, but whatever it was not very likely to work, and it didn't. If you got to back the bowlers, you've got to back them on their strengths. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, his strength is with the new ball. Shami bowls with a slightly older ball. Now these are little things that we've been seeing over the years, but when the captain starts missing the obvious, you know something is not right.
Absolutely. We would request you to stay with us till the time we take a look at Team India's successful head-to-head records so far. So coming to bat first and bat second, when India came to bat first, it won 3 matches against Pakistan, and Pakistan won none of the matches. While in whichever the cases, India came to bat second, India won 4 matches and Pakistan won a single match against Team India in T20 Cricket World Cup. So moving back to our guest, Mr. Ravikant Singh. Mr. Singh, we were talking about MS Dhoni, how important his role becomes now. So what are the pointers? Because Dhoni has always been a part of Team India squad whenever it played against Team Pakistan. Today was a different picture entirely. Kohli was there, Dhoni was there, Rohit Sharma went out in the power play itself. What would be your pointers, top highlights from all these observations?
Let's not forget that this was Kohli's first game as captain against Pakistan in a T20 World Cup. 2016 World Cup, it was still Dhoni as captain. So the first time leading on the big stage, that's where I think it was not really going when things start going awry, you've got to have a plan B or a plan C. Unfortunately, India did not look like having that, and that's where the role of the mentor comes in. He has got to sit down with the captain, tell him what needs to be done, but then final execution is, of course, with the captain, but he's got to be guided right in the right direction, and that's the primary job of the mentor. Dhoni being there, of course, having already had the confidence of Virat Kohli as his former captain, I'm sure Dhoni will sit him down and have a nice, good chat over a cup of tea, and I think things will be ironed out not far from now.
And my last question to you would be, Mr. Singh, that your quick observations on brief pointers that India really needs to work upon in the batting department and bowling department, especially in some specific matches that are going to be pain areas for Team India.
See, the composition of the team, there was no problem with that. Team selection was absolutely fine. What went against India was that India were already on the back foot, afraid of what Pakistan would be throwing at them. And that is where things did not go right. They knew that they were facing an express bowler in Shaheen Shah Afridi. Now, when you are already decided that he's going to come at you and you've got to try and avoid or defend. The defensive mindset starts hurting. Now that is something that the Indians need to get out of. The sooner they do that, the better it will be for the team.
Absolutely. Sooner they learn, the better it will be for Team India for the upcoming matches. Thank you so much, Mr. Singh, for joining us. And now let's take a look at India versus Pakistan overall head-to-head records so far. So in overall category, 8 matches were played, out of which India won 7 matches and Pakistan won a single match. In last 5 matches, 5 were played, out of which India won 4, Pakistan won a single match, and ICC T20 Cricket World Cup, excluding today's match, India won all 5. But today, history was created as India lost the match and Pakistan won the match after the year 1992 in ICC T20 Cricket World Cup. A strong performance by Team Pakistan in all departments and a confidence booster as well to Team Pakistan on the first day of Super 12 group stage match for Team India. Well, India could not finally manage to make today's game in its name, but remember, this is just the beginning and there are more number of matches that India needs to play at the ongoing ICC T20 Cricket World Cup. They've got the support of MS Dhoni, they've got Virat Kohli as a batter with themselves, they've got their coach, senior coach. So don't get easily disheartened and keep extending support to your favorite teams at the ongoing ICC T20 Cricket World Cup. And to keep a tab of all the news and updates from the country and the world, keep watching DD India. Namaskar.